رب العالمين صلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا ثم أما بعد. If you had to travel for business or for work or for whatever actually opportunity you're going for, how long should you stay there? Let's say that your journey or your business trip requires you to stay 3 days away from home, from family. How long should you stay there? If it requires for you to stay 3 days, is it okay to stay 10 days?
Yeah.
Is it halal or haram? Let's say first. Is it halal or haram? And can you stay longer than what is required for me to stay away from home? The answer is yes, it's permissible. However, is it recommended?
No.
Is that recommended that you stay longer than you're supposed to stay?
No.
The answer is no. The sooner you return back to your family, the sooner you return back to regular routine, the better it is. Imam al-Nawawi رحمه الله تعالى يقول في رياض الصالحين في كتاب آداب السفر, the book of the etiquette of traveling. قال باب استحباب تعجيل المسافر الرجوع إلى أهله إذا قضى حاجته. The desirability of returning home soon after the accomplishment of a task. And then he mentioned حديث أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال السفر قطعة من العذاب يمنع أحدكم طعامه وشرابه ونومه فإذا قضى أحدكم نهمته من سفره فليعجل إلى أهله متفق عليه. The Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, journey, means travel, is a torment. It's like a piece from punishment or torment, because it deprives the traveler of his food, of his drink, and sleep. Meaning it deprives of your regular food, your regular drink, and your regular sleeping habits. So when a person has accomplished his purpose of journey, he should return home quickly. Rawah al-Bukhari or Muslim. Now, why would travel be considered a torment or like a piece from punishment? Of course, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was speaking about travel according to their standards of transportation back then. When you have to ride on the back of the camel, and it's a very boring trip, you know. I mean, the camel, how fast the camel is gonna go? Can you imagine? You travel from Medina to Mecca, Jama'ah, it takes you one entire week just to go from Medina to Mecca.
That's fast.
And that's relatively fast. Today, alhamdulillah, driving, you get there by 4 hours or maybe 5 hours max. If you fly, that's even nothing. That's barely an hour flying. Back then, it would take them one entire week just to get there. And you guys, you complain about jet lag, subhanAllah. You complain about jet lag when they had to go suffer through the journey itself. You perhaps you're suffering after the journey is over. You know, you have to for 3 days just until you get adjusted to the hours and to the timing. But they had to go through the pain of traveling on such a very difficult and maybe dangerous even journey. And when you sleep, alhamdulillah, at least you have a seat where you could just, and lean your head on. And when you have a car, you could just stop anytime you want and just get some rest. But for them, they used to sometimes tie themselves on the back of the camel so that they don't fall. So that when they fall asleep while on the back of the camel. Indeed, it is like punishment. It is like torture, subhanAllah. And unfortunately, if someone was tested or tried, may Allah subhanahu protect you all from that, Jama'ah. And protect all the Muslims from this. If someone was tried with being, let's say, imprisoned, and they're being subject to torture, what type of torture do they subject them for? If they want to use this soft torture, they deprive them of food, drink, and sleep. They punish them through this. They deprive them from regular food, regular drink, and regular or routine sleep. Can you imagine now how this happens? It's for a traveler by choice, of course, because you're traveling, but eventually the Prophet ﷺ, he said, this is unusual for you. Therefore, once you're done from the purpose of your journey, better go back home as soon as possible, so that you get back again to your normal routine, and when you have your normal routine, you would function in a better way. That would be better for you, inshallah. Of course, this also includes our time. Even when you fly, even if you drive, if you finish, let's say, your trip in 2 days, there is no meaning for you to stay away from home 3, 4, 5 days. Unless, of course, this is something being arranged already. If it's something was arranged between you and the family, that maybe you need the break. That's fine. They can accept that. But if it's going to be regular travel, always better to stay at home and be with your family and be with your loved ones. Wallahu ta'ala. Any questions, Jama'ah?
person that's traveling, and let's say he's in the destination city and he's about to leave, and the prayer time comes, let's say Dhuhr.
Okay.
Does he lead the prayer because he's shortened it, or does he pray the full 4 rak'ahs and pray jama' taqdeem without taqsir?
Okay. The question is, if you're traveling and you're now in the city, the destination city, right?
Yeah,
not your hometown.
Not your hometown.
Okay, so you're in a destination city, and then now you're going to return back home. It's time for Dhuhr. So what do I do in this case? Should I pray full, or should I make it qasr? The answer is qasr, because you're still traveling.
You pray it in jama'ah.
If you pray in jama'ah, you pray behind the imam full salah. It doesn't matter where you are. If you pray behind an imam who prays full salah, you need to complete your salah full.
Now,
Even if you catch the imam in the last 2 rak'ah. If you catch the imam in the last 2 rak'ah, you're still obligated to do 4.
Now, is it right for the traveler to lead the prayer, finish 2 rak'ahs and do salam, and then the rest of the musallin stand up and finish? Is that right?
Is it possible? Is it right for the musafir, for the traveler, to lead the salah? And in this case, he would pray 2 rak'ah, give salam, and then the people will stand up and continue their salah or complete their salah. The answer, it's permissible. It's permissible. The Prophet ﷺ used to do that when he was in Mecca, when he came for the conquest of Mecca. He stayed there about 17, 18 days, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he used to do qasr in Mecca, salawatullah wasallam. So when he used to give the salam, after the first salam, he would say, "Atimmu salatakum fa inna qawmun safar," which means complete your salah because I'm traveling. So eventually he would alert the people from behind him, so the people of Mecca would stand up and continue their salah. However, if they selected you for that purpose without them knowing that you're a traveler, tell them, listen, I'm a traveler, have somebody from the locals make the salah. Can you make your salah full even if you're a traveler? Some of the fuqaha, like in the Hanafi, for example, school, they say that it's fardul musafir al-qasr, which means you have to do it short because that's the obligation of the traveler, which is a very valid opinion, as a matter of fact.
A very
valid opinion. However, the majority of the fuqaha, they say it's basically al-istihbab. And if you want, you can make it full, if you want, and you can still do it as qasr, because al-qasr rukhsa. It's just a concession, it's a recommendation, it's not an obligation. Wallahu a'lam.
Okay, I was traveling this weekend, that's why I'm asking, and I was asked to lead the prayer because I could do the 2 rak'ahs and then salam and then have everybody stand up.
Okay.
But I felt somebody joined without knowing that I'm a musafir, so I changed my niyyah and I prayed 4 rak'ahs as an imam. A full 4
So
rak'ahs.
you start with an intention of doing 2 as qasr, and then you made it full 4.
Full 4, because the people that joined didn't know that I was doing the qasr, and I did as a jama' taqdeem without taqsir.
Even if they didn't know that you were doing qasr, they wouldn't tell anyway. Because when you finish your salah, they would think you were praying the last 2 rak'ah anyway. Even if they joined you from the beginning and they didn't hear you saying the qasr thing, they would still be considered the last 2 rak'ah. So they're going to make up their 2 rak'ahs anyway.
But is it valid for me?
It's fine. It's fine. Wallahu a'lam.
So before you depart, you have an intention to travel, right? So
From your hometown or from the destination
from
city?
your hometown.
Okay.
And for example, I'm traveling at noon, and I know at Asr time I'm gonna be, for example,
Okay.
flight.
If you're traveling from hometown, and you know that you're gonna be there at Asr time, then
I'm
in
gonna be
this.
there at Maghrib. During Asr, I'm gonna be flying or whatever.
Oh, so you're gonna be arriving at Maghrib time.
Yes.
So basically, you're leaving before Dhuhr or after Dhuhr, you're saying?
Before Asr.
I know, but you're leaving before Dhuhr?
No, after Dhuhr.
After Dhuhr?
Yes.
Okay, if you're leaving after Dhuhr before Asr, and you're gonna, if basically you are going to catch Asr, you wait until you reach your destination. If you think that you're gonna miss it, and there is no other option, in this case, you pray your Asr on the plane. If you can stand up, that's fine. There are some airlines, they allow that. If you could not, then just do it while seated.
Can I play it in advance when I play Dhuhr?
If you cannot do it in advance because the time of Asr is not yet and you're not on the journey. You can't do that unless you're driving. If you're driving, that's different. Once you leave the city limit and you're a traveler, you can make your jama' and qasr. Wallah. But if you had to do Salat al-Dhuhr, for example, and if you had to do it before you leave, you don't do qasr, you do full salah before you leave. Wallah. No.
Let's say you travel very regularly from the city, 30 out of the 50 weeks, half the time,
No.
and it's Ramadan.
Mm-hmm.
Are you better off continuing to make your fast throughout the month of Ramadan, or should you because it's permissible to stop, should you not fast in the days you're traveling, and then
No, if your job requires from you to travel a lot, eventually you commute a lot, you keep traveling, and it's Ramadan. So what is better for you when you're traveling? Should you break your fast or should you fast? Breaking the fast is rukhsa, which means it's still a concession. It's not an obligation. So if you would like to fast, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you're going to be breaking your fast, it's up to you. As a recommendation, I would say it's at your convenience. Meaning, if you're going to be doing rough meetings and specific journeys, in this case, perhaps maybe you break your fast better for you. But if it's going to be a soft, journey, easy one, in this case, just keep fasting. Wallah.
So one scenario is, for example, if you're in the air, you start your fast in one location,
Okay.
and then while you're in the air, the time comes, but if you're not,
You break your fast when you see the sun down, regardless. No. Yes, somebody had a question? Zee?
Isn't وأن تصوموا خير لكم?
وأن تصوموا.
خير لكم. It's better to do this.
Yeah,
Even
but-
though there is rukhsa.
No. This ayah right now was about when fasting was first obligated. It was optional. يعني كان على الخيار لم يكن على الإيجاب. So those who didn't want to fast, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala them that to pay kafara. But then He said, وَأَن تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. But better for you to fast. But then the ayah came down afterwards, says, فَمَنْ شَهَدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْ مَا صَفِيَ خَيْرٌ لَهُ. So whoever attends the month, they should fast. Now it becomes obligatory, it's no longer a matter of option or khayar. Nah. Yes.
Taking the same example, if you're doing the other way around, so if you are coming back, you
Uh-huh.
visit the destination before Dhuhr, and you're going to be by Asr at back home. So in that case,
You can even before Dhuhr, you're saying?
yes.
Okay, in this case, if you wait until you get to your home,
Right.
so you're leaving before Dhuhr, but you're going to be arriving around Asr time.
Right.
When you arrive, you pray Dhuhr and Asr, as-Sahih, Wallah, you pray them actually full, because you're arriving at home right now.
And a qada.
Nah.
The dhuhr will be qada.
لا مش قضاء, because you're still traveling. You're still traveling even though you arrive your destination. So they had the rukhsa to delay it until you arrive home. So this is fine. However, some of the fuqaha, they say, unless, like in some schools that they mandate that the fard of the traveler is al-qasr, they say if you arrive after Maghrib, now you missed what? Both Dhuhr and Asr. If you arrive after Maghrib, what do you need to pray? They say you pray 2 and 2. Why? Because now you're doing qada, and the fard of the traveler was 2 rak'ah, not 4. So therefore you do 2 and 2. Wallah.
If you're traveling and you shorten your salah, should you still keep up with the sunnahs?
No, if you're traveling, you shouldn't be doing the sunnah. Or the nafil, eventually, not the nafil, but the sunnah that comes with Dhuhr and Maghrib and Isha. You shouldn't be doing that. Hadith Abdullah bin Umar in Sahih Bukhari as well. That the Prophet ﷺ, when he used to travel, he used to stop doing the sunnah. However, he still did the nafil. Nafil means like qiyamul layl, for example. He would do qiyamul layl even when he's riding on the back of the camel. And he also maintained 2 other sunnahs. He never stopped doing those 2 sunnahs, even when he's traveling, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And those are the 2 rak'ah of sunnat al-fajr and salat al-witr after salat al-isha and qiyamul layl. Wallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك